We had a 4 o'clock morning leave time here with Tenbarge. Andy and I, we're going out. We're gonna go talk to some companies, figure out what's going on, see what some programs look like, and maybe offer some advice there on how to improve things moving forward. So real excited to get out with them today and interact with these people and really just be back in the field where, of course, I spent my entire career. So I'll keep you posted, give you some updates throughout the day, what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what guys are doing, how specifically here in the transition zone on the northern end of it, what they're experiencing, and ultimately, how can we do things better? All right.
Applicators we talked to today, their biggest issues right now this time of the year, just weather. You can't find any good working days. It seems you get 1 or 2 days a week. It's soft, it's nasty. Can you get out? Weather being unpredictable as far as early season starts, and where's my pre-emerges and where are they going to wear off, and am I going to have coverage for the year? A lot of people find themselves in the same boat trying to figure all that out.
With all this weather, just kind of experience going through similarly wet years, how do you think the season is going to progress compared to previous seasons that have been this wet this time of year? Are we just in for just a real badass year full of weeds? And
this year and last year have mimicked each other fairly well. It's just been insanely soggy and wet, and it's messed up everyone's timing for getting all of their materials down. Getting your pre-emerges down and everything, it's a flu shot. It doesn't do you any good to get the flu shot after you've got the flu. And so guys have wound up kind of chasing their tails last year because the timing wasn't exactly right on their windows for pre-emerges. And if things don't shape up, they could find themselves back in the same boat. Guys have put down extra rounds of product to try to compensate for that.
With all the excess moisture in the ground, as far as planning fertility for the upcoming season, is there a preference, liquid, granular? What kind of nutrients are you looking to run to kickstart things?
Almost everybody will run granulars. You just can't substitute what you can get in a liquid in a granular form. You can't take a liquid app and make it as heavy hitting from the nitrogen standpoint as for liquid versus granulars. They both have their place. They both have their advantages. And something else, early in the year, you know, these guys are going to go out, the daytime may be 50, the nighttime might be 25. And now you've got to find a way to store your equipment, and you're not going to worry, and you're going to worry about, if you're running all liquids, freezing hoses, freezing tips, busting things. That's always an issue. Guys, and it's also going to depend on the quality of your applicator. Some guys feel like the granulars are a little bit more forgiving as far as where they can put the product, because if you miss a streak with your pre-emerge and it's a liquid, you're going to find a nice straight line, if you can drive straight, of problems for the rest of the summer.
What primary turf types are we dealing with here in Bowling Green?
It's going to be 99% tall fescue. You're going to find some places that'll have a little bluegrass mixed in. You find some inadvertent warm season lawns. Most people don't want to do that, but you'll find a few of those every now and then. But turf type tall fescue is almost all the way in all of your nice lawns in this area.
With really wet springs like this, do you think there's any kind of correlation with the development of brown patch later in the season? I know you have to get eaten up with brown patch. Would you say one way or another?
Brown patch hammers everybody at some point in this area. It hit earlier last year than usual. I remember that because guys were coming in and said, hey man, I've already got brown patch. I was like, man, are you sure? It's a little earlier than we usually find it. But I feel like the springs are warming up a little earlier than they used to. I feel like you get all that extra moisture and you still got some, you get your little bit of your nitrogen down. I mean, nobody's shoving nitrogen down anybody's throat this early in the spring to try to help get around that. But at the same time, it's definitely a problem. And it starts earlier and it hangs on a little bit later than in years past. That's been the recent trend over the last 2 or 3 years that I've seen.
So can you tell us a little bit more about Tenbarge and about yourself?
Sure. Tenbarge was founded in 1940. It was originally started as an agriculture seed company, so corn, wheat, soybeans, those kind of things. And over the years, it diversified into the turfgrass world, which is what we almost exclusively do. You're not going to find any corn, wheat, and soybean seeds here. There's a few other little odd and end forage things that we'll do. But for the most part, if it's a golf course, if it's a sports field, if it's a lawn care company, we've got the stuff that those guys are going to be after. It's a family-owned company. I enjoy working for the family-owned environment. There are a bunch of good people to work with.
What's your background?
So, my background. So you get to be a kid, you're getting to 14, 15 years old, and you want to go to the mall, and you want to go to the movies, and you want to go do all these things with your friends. And my parents were like, hey, you know what, that's great, that sounds like fun. If you had a job, you could go do those things because you could afford to do them. So I lived in an area where there were a lot of residential subdivisions being put in. And the guy across the street left for town one weekend. He said, hey, can you cut the grass for me while I'm gone? Sure. I did it. The guy flipped me 20 bucks and I thought I was rich. And this was a way for me to start making money to support my, social habit of going to the movies and things with your friends. And so I started printing out flyers and sticking them on all the mailboxes. And the next thing you know, I was mowing 8 or 10 yards and my love for turf started there. I can remember in the 5th grade, I put a journal entry. They made us keep this old journal in the 5th grade anyway. And I was excited because I figured out how to cut the checkerboard pattern into mom and dad's backyard. And that was my major accomplishment. And as this love of cutting grass and keeping things green grew, I started becoming more interested in fertility and weed control and all those things. And so as time went on, I snapped that part into my business. I went to school at Western Kentucky University for turfgrass management, and my little slogan is, if a painter likes to watch paint dry, I like to watch grass grow. That's my thing.
Andy, I appreciate you taking me around today. Anything else you want to add?
Matt Martin's a anything else I want to add? We brought Carbon Earth products onto our line, and I'm looking really forward to looking with Matt Martin and all the other guys at Carbon Earth. I think they've got a great product. I think it's going to be something that's new, something that's exciting. It's good to have something that an extra piece of ammo you can put in your pocket and go out at the end of the day and have some pride in the work you do, look back at the accomplishment of what you've done, and
How do people get a hold of you, Andy? How do we get a hold of you?
So I'm available in the Bowling Green, Kentucky store. I service lawn care companies in about a 70, 80 mile range around Bowling Green. You can reach our store at 270-599-0091. But you can reach anybody in Tenbarge, and we cover anywhere from Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio. And you can just call the number for their main line, which is 800-467-0158, and they can put you in touch with a rep that can cover you anywhere within those areas.
Are you on Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah, we do the social media thing. You've got Twitter and you've got Instagram, and we've got a Facebook page as well. So feel free to hop on there and follow us for all of our adventures.
Thanks, Andy.
No problem, buddy.
See ya.
See ya.